could use another drink, Shaft. How about you?
Oh, hell yeah, I can use 2 or 3 more. Especially if I gotta listen to another story about how fast Falzaren can swim.
Well, mayhaps he could tell us instead about what happened last time on the Incorrigible party.
With Shaft as their guide, the party sees much of Drukal in their search for the Amulet of Kalar. Having no immediate luck speaking with Kepley and Prawn, Mia attempts to scry on Hannah in an effort to gain any foresight before visiting her club, only to find a family member being held captive at the Pussycat Palace.
It appears Falzaren has bought the next round and is headed this way.
And the adventure continues. I grab onto Mia's arm quick and I go, hey, hold on a second.
Yeah?
If you go waltzing in there and they've got one of your family members...
Well, yeah, that's why I'm going.
Yeah, I know. Maybe a better deal is that I go in and find out what's going on. I mean, she has nothing against me that I know of. I'll just ask what's going on.
Are you worried about my safety or that I can't be sneaky?
Maybe a little. Hey, I tell you what. I'll take Falzaren in here, and I'll just tell her he's a rich noble guy from
with those robes.
I look him up and down. I go, it's gonna be a hard sell, but I can do it.
Are you saying that you're gonna bring Falzaren in to see Hannah?
That's correct.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can
see.
bring Falzaren, yeah. Okay, so here. Give me the shackles. But what about Falzaren if you guys get into trouble?
He can teleport out.
Oh.
Yes, that's true. I can.
You don't need drag anymore?
Well,
I feel we will always have some need for drag.
Yeah, I'm just so upset right now. Sorry. Okay, here.
That's understandable. Your family member is in danger.
Where should we stand, Shikara?
Let's go across the street.
I'd probably stay out of sight. We don't know what they're looking for. You know.
All right, is there anything like... what could we do to know you're in trouble? Like, can you send me a message? What do you guys got?
You'll hear Falzaren screaming. That's when you know to come.
Oh, so we gotta stand pretty... We could be blocks away, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
Okay.
that's very funny, both of you.
No,
you don't have to worry about
So if there's
me.
a giant ape that comes out bounding into the streets or something, that's the signal?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to be a bit more discreet, but as a last resort.
Okay,
perhaps.
remember, Shaft, when you're in there, maybe they have some information on the amulet, eh?
Let's start there. Let's just feel this out. We don't have enough information to go bounding in there. Even invisible, it's risky.
I'll tell you right now.
Yes, I agree.
I'm pretty sure it was a guy. Garbon is my dad. So if any mention of Garbon, Braun is my brother. I don't think it was my mom or sister. And then I have a little brother, Adder. He's pretty small, though, so I'm pretty sure it's either Braun or Garbon. It's got to be one of them. Or maybe an uncle. I don't have their names memorized.
I had to have a long rest before I could do that.
I need to reacquaint myself with my family tree.
You have been away from home for a long time.
But I also have an Uncle Moby. Maybe it's him. I don't know.
All right.
Probably not. He's
Well.
not that valuable of a person to take or hold hostage.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to see how it plays out. As far as she knows, I'm just back in town and bringing this guy along to introduce them. And then we'll see how things pan out from there. If we can't get any information, then we go to plan B.
Okay.
Sneaky.
Falzaren, you have anything to make you look a little bit more? You got any jewelry in that bag of holding or something? I could probably rummage around and find something gold for you to wear here.
No, Mia. I'm quite capable. I haven't really had need to use my magical abilities for this reason, but let me show you.
All right.
And Falzaren starts to make motions with his hand, mutter some words, and you see him sort of gradually start to change, and he grows an inch or two. His hair becomes much more shiny, and he just starts looking more and more polished. His clothes change into very nice flowing robes that are like a almost velvety sheen, shiny, purpley blue, and he changes before your eyes.
Very impressive, Falzaren.
Wow, does this hold up to physical inspection?
Well, yes and no. Thankfully, this form that I've become isn't really much different in shape and size from the real me. So it should be a pretty robust disguise.
All right, you've never met Hannah. She might look closely. She likes fine things.
I'll try to keep my distance. Thank you.
Would it be beneficial to take Sparky with you? Because I can see through his eyes.
I don't think that's a good idea. Come on, Paul. And I grab him by the arm and start walking into the lion's mouth.
Do you grab what looks like a really well muscular bicep, but then it like doesn't hold up to physical inspection, and it's like
Right.
a skinny little wizard arm?
After they walk away. Sparky, go see if you can look in some windows. And I will send him off to see what he can scout.
All right. I will take just John and Bill then.
Am I leading Shakara down the street, like, with my arm while she's blind and looking through Sparky's eyes or something?
I'm not looking through his eyes right now.
Okay.
He's just off scouting.
Shaft and Falzaren, you step through the mouth of the lion and the big, like 15-foot wide doors that open up into another smallish room. On either side of you, to your left and right, are two additional normal-sized doors that you would find in a house. And 10 feet in front of you is this little vestibule, and there looks like there is an attendant behind it with two guards, they look like. And the attendant immediately greets you. Welcome to the Pussycat Palace, where your carnal desires are catered to.
Have I seen this individual before?
Yeah, absolutely. This is every time you've been here. This is the attendant that is here.
Okay, so I'll walk up and I'll sort of bow my head down a little bit and say, I request an audience with Hannah. Respectfully.
Is she expecting you?
Not exactly, but I have some information and something she would probably be interested in, and I think she'll talk to me.
And your name?
That would be Shaft.
He kind of flips through a big, like, binder more so. And he's flipping a bunch of pages and he's rifling through what they look like they're records. I see. You've been here a number of times.
Yes.
Well, then I do think a request for an audience will get you around the normal entrance fee, but you will, as you have before, have to surrender any of your weapons in your bags you can keep in our storeroom before you enter the palace.
Of course. And I look at Falzaren and yes, give the good man your items.
Why? Certainly. Yeah, you may have my bag, and I come bearing no weapons. So, but you may take the bag if it's. I understand security precautions. Must be adhered to, right?
I'm grateful for your understanding. So each of the two guards step up to either one of you, and with arms outstretched. One will take your bag holding Falzaren, and the other has their hands out to you, Shaft.
Yeah, I will take my weapons and put them in my bag and hand the bag to them.
And the attendant kind of writes up like tickets, like coat check tickets, and hands you each half of a strip that she tears, right, and keeps with your belongings. And the guards step into the door through the door on your right, and as they open the door, it does look like it's just like a storeroom. There's like racks of other weapons, and there more like traveling bags and that stuff. Although the weapons in here and those bags, even just a quick glance of them, they look like they're finely crafted. I mean, the weapons themselves don't look like they've been used at all. They honestly look more like showpieces, especially compared to like your sort of oozes dripping out of its scabbard and all that stuff, right? And they step into the storage room and stow your bags and come back out, and they will usher you through the door to your left. And the attendant waves you a goodbye, gives you each a nod.
I look back at Falzaren and say, with me, please, and sort of put my hand out for him to go in front of me.
Yes, of course.
2 guards in front. They open the man door, and you exit into another kind of L-shaped hallway. And as Falzaren, as you step through this threshold, your hand, Alamar's cane, of course, pops directly back into your hand as you have now moved more than 15 feet away from your bag of holding. It doesn't seem like the attendant noticed, and the guards are, of course, ahead of you, leading you through this hallway now. But you now have Alamar in your hand. Through another set of double doors, as this hallway quickly, after about 5 feet, opens up to like 10 feet wide, right? And this throws the door open, and even before you get in there, you can hear now the sound of music and people's voices and kind of the stomping of feet, and you now step into the Pussycat Palace proper, the beep beep beep. And here, this is maybe Smia had described a bit of it from what she saw through her first scry attempt, but you step into a very, very large room filled with a ton of, like, this place is packed, right? Directly to your right is a long L-shaped bar that basically runs the length of the entire building down to your right. And directly ahead of you on the other side of this room is a stage with a live band up there, dance floor in front. There are a few like I described, like go-go dancers in their own little cages, like up in each corner of these rooms, and you can see that people are. There's a lot of fluidity here. It's very clear there's a lot of alcohol that's flowing around. On the right side, up above everything, you can see the balcony of which Hannah had been sitting at during Mia's scry. And glancing up there, it doesn't look like there's anybody up there now. It seems to be empty, or at least from this vantage point, it's empty, right? Many tables surround the dance floor. Again, the place is it's very crowded. There is another double door, which would be on the left side of this large room, which Shaft, having been here before, this is where the guards are leading you, and they of course do immediately take you through. They don't pause to look, take in any of the sights, of course, and they lead you through the dance floor, weaving in between people, on all the patron goers, and the wait staff here looks very scantily clad. Of course, the dancers in the cages are all scantily clad, and the clientele here are clearly like living up to the standard of Hannah's district as far as affluent and wealthy go. Just strictly by their appearance, it's very clear that the people here are purposely representing themselves to be such, right? Whether or not whether or not that's true for any of them, but perhaps some like Falzer and yourself here, at least for the time being, purporting to be somebody of significance, right?
I didn't want to interrupt you while you're expositing, but I think when Falzaren realized that what had happened and his mistake, and now that he was holding the cane, he would probably want to use disguise self again to replicate his appearance, but focus on the cane and make it look much more ornate and fancy, because I think in its current state it really doesn't match with his outfit. Is that fair?
Sure. Okay. So you're basically you're making yourself look the same, but you're including additional adornment for the cane.
Right. Yeah. I don't want the cane to clash with the persona I'm putting forth.
Okay, I got you. So exactly where and what did you have in mind? Because keep in mind that you must be cognizant of where you will be holding the cane, right? So any of your additional adornments, your hand is going to pass right through.
Right. I think perhaps I would just try to make the material that it's made out of, perhaps like a precious metal like gold or something of the sort, rather than, I think it's a wooden cane, is it not?
Yeah, with a silver eagle head.
Yeah, so I would leave it in more or less its same form, especially the part that I'd be holding on to, but change its appearance to make it look like it's made out of a fine metal, and probably add some gems down the shaft or some finer detail to it to make it look like it's got exceptional craftsmanship.
Okay. Through the double doors, from and away from the dancers. Again, though, you're not the only ones that are passing through this door, as it doesn't appear there are no guards stationed there or anything. But the doors themselves do lead into another long hallway. And it does look like there are a number of rooms off of this hallway, and they lead you what would be north, down it, 10 feet wide, right? On this particular section, there are about 4 just different rooms, and you do see a few people walk into one, and as you pass through the doors, you kind of get, you hear what's going on inside. There's the sounds, there's some not screams, maybe yells, but moans, the crack of a whip, perhaps, strain, like, yeah, the brothely noises, right? I mean, that kind of stuff.
I smack Falzaren on the hip and I go, "Eyes forward, buddy. Just keep moving. Eyes on the prize."
Yes, right.
As the guards take you to what turns into like a T-junction, so you'll be turning right, which would again be moving eastward. You see an attendant, like a servant, rolling a large cart full of desserts into one of the rooms. And as they open the door for the cart, you hear this like squeal, cakes and pies, and they walk in. Door closes behind them. Guards look unfazed, as if they've seen this day in and day out. They just keep walking down as they turn right and to another set of like another bunch of adjoining rooms.
I look at Falzaren and go, "Did you see that cheese pie?
Magnificent."
At the end of this hallway, which now you've circumnavigated like the main like club section, right? To a set of stairs that lead upwards, and they stop at a landing, which again forms like this T where you could go right or left to more stairs. Again, judging by Shaft having been here before, Shaft, to your right is that balcony that overlooks the club itself. To the left, at the top of the stairs, another landing. There are 2 guards posted here, and they, the 2 pairs of guards give each other a nod. One of them kind of leans in and whispers to the one on the left, and they quickly step inside for about 20-30 seconds, and the door opens again, and they kind of wave you in to this room.
Okay, I'll walk in front of Falzaren.
The guard does not follow you, like the door closes behind you, so now it's just the 2 of you in this room, and you step into a rectangular room. Immediately in front of you is this crescent-shaped pool, and Hannah is in it, completely naked. The water rising to about her chest, right, almost up to her collarbone. She's like fully sunk in, vapor, steam. Clearly the water, it looks freshly poured, still very piping hot. The room itself, each of the walls is like lined with this dark red, almost black velvet curtains, giving the whole place this kind of red sheen in the candlelight, the flickering candlelights that serve as the source in here. On the far left is a large canopy bed. These are clearly Hannah's private chambers. In one corner is like this large like L-shaped sectional that sits right next to a small like miniature bar full of different wines and alcohols and like tumblers and all that kind of stuff. And she just looks at the 2 of you, raises a hand, and beckons you closer.
I walk up sort of, lean forward, like to bow somewhat and say, Hannah, nice to see you again.
I follow suit and I say, Hannah, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Baron Zaren, but you can call me Paul.
Sorry to disturb you. I did meet the Baron here on my way back into Drakal, and he had some important inquiries that I thought only someone of your stature may be able to, help acquire the things that he is looking for. And I thought not to wait long, as you know, the best time to work out something like this is quickly. And since the Baron has just come into Drakal, I thought you were the first person he needs to meet. And I sort of stepped back a little bit, like out of respect, to let the Baron speak.
A pleasure, Baron Zaren. Shaft, I had heard you returned to Drakal. Should our, and she motions towards Paul Zaren, new relationship blossom into something profitable, you will see your share. But thank you. Away with you. I shall speak to the Baron alone.
Right away. And I sort of step back a little bit. And as I leave the room, I turn back and say, oh, and one additional question. Killian, where can I find him?
I haven't seen Killian in a few months, actually.
Ah. Thanks, I'll take care of that myself then. And I'll walk back to where the guards are.
And she just gives and as you approach the door shaft, the door opens, and then you exit the room.
All right.
Yes, just all right, Bill. Let's go. Just Bill
Good
here.
luck,
Bill. I always knew this day would come, Leland. You'd be naked in a tub. Hannah, I love what you've done with this space. My goodness. Your taste is exquisite.
Yes, I have been told that many times. Please help yourself to a drink. I'll take one as well.
Certainly. What can I get you?
She kind of motions to the tumbler on the furthest right. A nice vintage.
Of course. So I pour her one, and I'll pour one of the same for myself. And I walk over to where she's in the water and reach out my hand to pass it to her.
All right. She gladly accepts, and she just immediately starts to drink.
I swirl it around a little bit, sniff it, hold it up, look at it through the light a little bit. My goodness. This is quite nice.
Please, join me. Undress. The water is quite warm.
Well, I do appreciate the offer, Hannah, but where I was raised, how do I say this tactfully?
How do you refuse my hospitality tactfully, is what you ask?
Well, no, I certainly wouldn't want you to take it that way, and oh, goodness, I'm embarrassed. It's a very, very almost unnatural thing for this sort of thing to happen. I appreciate that not everyone is raised the same way I was raised, but I beg of you to understand, it's deeply ingrained in me.
She looks disappointed. Not necessarily angry, but she stands up very unabashedly, rises, and you get a full figure. As she walks over to her bed to grab a robe, throws it on, takes a seat on the edge of it.
I turn to give her privacy while she does this, sort of blushing a little bit.
And you see a little smirk creep of the corner of her mouth as you do so. You were looking for something?
Yes. Shaft, he spoke very highly of your ability to come across exquisite items. How do I say this? It may be an item that is owned by someone who perhaps may not be eager to part with it, but Shaft assured me that for the right price, you have ways of coming about getting things. I simply must have it. I've seen it once before, and I have not been able to get it out of my thoughts ever since. It's an amulet. It's round, circular shaped, made of gold, and in the inlay where there would sometimes be a gem is this magnificent four-sided, how do I describe it? Almost a pyramid shape with symbology on each of the faces. It's all I dream of. I simply must have it. And let me be honest, Hannah, price is not anything to be concerned with. Whatever it takes for you to acquire this for me, I have the means to pay.
As you're describing this item to her, she kind of slowly stands up, and she seems to almost be like getting excited, like an anticipation as she kind of moves closer to you. You've seen this item before.
Yes, it was an older man who was wearing it. He didn't speak much of it, or really wasn't willing to offer me much information about it, nor was he willing to part with it. And to be honest, in the moment, it wasn't until afterward that I became more and more enamored and frankly obsessed with the design. Oh, I simply can't stop thinking about it.
Yes, it sounds quite appealing. And she moves closer to you. I am quite adept at finding the right personnel to acquire such items of vast beauty by your description. As she steps closer to you.
Well, yes. I take like a half step back. It is even if and when you are to see it in person, Hannah, I assure you, you will be impressed. It is magnificent, and I must add it to my collection.
Well, I'll certainly do what I can to locate it for you, Baron.
I would be eternally grateful, Hannah.
And she holds out a hand to you, like, back of her hand, like up, as if for you to
yes.
take it and and kiss it. Right?
I take it and sort of bow gracefully and plant a kiss on the back of her hand.
What is your armor class?
Well, it's normally 10, but I typically cast mage armor every day, which makes it 13, right? Yeah.
Right. Okay. As she makes contact with you, you stoop down and your lips meet her skin. A warmth kind of spreads through where all the points of contact, and like this flush kind of flows over you. This intoxication. So you are cursed now.
Lovely. Would Falzaren know that something magical has happened to him?
You can go ahead and roll me an Arcana check if you'd like, but she is going to follow up with a spell.
That was not good. So Arcana was 9.
Okay. I think perhaps with the situation that you find yourself in, the provocative nature of Hannah herself, perhaps you're not entirely sure, as you don't. Other than that kind of brief flush and the warmth that kind of spread between the two of you, you don't feel any different other than that instance as it kind of fades. But she does, with her other hand, reach out to you to grab a shoulder, and
so if I'm aware that she's about to I don't know if he would cast counterspell or not in this situation.
I'm gonna treat this, I suppose, why don't you give me an insight check?
Okay. That's a 10.
Her deception was a 22.
Alrighty then.
So you do not, you don't feel any type of like hostile intent, as
Okay.
you know. Again, you're feeling the warmth from her touch. But I will ask you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please, as she does attempt to charm person. Now your circlet gives you a benefit, right? Your circuit otherwise gives you a benefit. So while attuned to it, the wearer has advantage on wisdom saving throws against charm and fear effects. So you haven't
Okay.
activated it, which makes you immune, right? But you are wearing it and you're attuned to it. Now this curse gives you disadvantage on wisdom saving throws for an hour.
Okay.
That was her intoxicating touch that she landed on you. So you are just rolling a straight d20, so it's negating the effects of your circlet. So go ahead and make me just a standard wisdom saving throw.
So that's a nat 1. Oh no, Paul. Baron Zaren. Come on. Keep your wits about you.
Okay.
See, this is the problem with not getting off the island for most of his life.
That's right. Hey, you should have gotten the tub.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are you're charmed by Hannah. Basically, you regard her as a friendly acquaintance, like a friend of yours, somebody perhaps that you could confide in maybe.
Okay.
Tell me, Baron, where exactly did you see this amulet again? I don't believe you were being entirely truthful with me.
Well, Hannah. Oh boy. Truth be told, it's kind of complicated. There are multiple people who want this amulet, I believe. Well, at least one that I know of, and I sort of want it for myself as well.
Oh, my! But you've surely never seen this item before.
You're right. I'm so sorry. That was a bit untrue of me to say. I haven't actually seen it. I've had it described to me, but...
Well, if they described it to you as eloquently as you did to me, then I find you've done an accurate portrayal.
Have you seen it?
Yes, in fact, it is in my possession.
You don't say. Well, would you be willing to part with it?
I would. For a task, a favor.
A favor?
Amongst friends?
Okay. That seems very reasonable.
Have you been to Drukal before, Paul?
What? Only briefly, but my friend Shaft, I think, knows his way around the city quite well.
Yes, Shaft is very capable. If you could get him to aid you, he would actually prove to be an asset.
Certainly, yeah. He's sometimes a bit reluctant, but I'm usually able to convince him.
Is it Shaft who is also looking for this amulet?
Well, I mean, yes. He was also asked to help find it by this person, and I wonder if he also, like me, sort of wants to keep it if we find it.
I see. So Shaft was untruthful as well, was he?
Well, I guess maybe a little. He didn't mean anything by it.
Of course. He'll know of whom I speak, but I wish Lag of Rock dead.
Lag of Rock, you say? You want him dead?
Well, there unfortunately is a power imbalance in Drukal, especially with what's happened to Detmer. I desire Lag's property.
And what property do you mean? His land or his possessions?
Oh,
something
everything.
in particular?
Everything.
My.
In fact, I need it.
I see. What what is this that happened to Detmer? I've heard Shaft talk of Detmer quite a bit.
Well, he's disappeared. Left these paladins of Cultus in his place.
Interesting. Well, I will certainly try my best, Hannah. Like I said, it only seems fair. I'd be happy to help you out. Mutual exchange.
Excellent. I do hope we can keep some of this just between you and I.
Oh, a bit of a sensitive nature, is it? I understand.
If word got out that I was vying for what is Lag's, you may come across more resistance than you would if it were kept hush-hush.
Right. Yes, of course. Of course.
Perhaps you can aid me with something else as well.
What is it that I can help with?
Well, you seem to be a man of great means, willing to part with fortunes, it seems, to get your hands on this amulet.
It is of great value, I do believe.
Well, perhaps you could fill me in on its history then, as I'm afraid I have not uncovered much about it on my own.
Well, it's a bit of a long story, I think, but from what I understand, have you heard of Mr. Cultus, Mr. Samuel Cultus?
Of course. Everyone in Aspara surely has.
Right, yes. He apparently has a quite special set of armor, and this becomes a piece of that armor, and from what I understand, the armor may give him a great deal of power if he's able to gather all of these pieces of the armor together, so it were. But the problem is that he doesn't know where all of his pieces of this armor are. They're scattered about Aspara. The amulet is one piece that he would like back, but I have my reservations about this falling into his hands, and that's one of the reasons why I was considering keeping it for myself.
My goodness, this amulet is very valuable then.
Yes, I believe so.
Well, it is lucky for you, my friend, that I've already asked a high price of you. Even more fitting for the value of the item you will receive as payment.
It seems fair. Truth be told, I'm probably not the only party who would be interested in it if it were more widely known how valuable it is. So I understand what you're asking of me, and I will do my best.
Thank you, my friend. I am so glad that we've had a chance to meet.
I am too, Hannah. This has been great.
Please, if you'd like a refill before you leave, stay. Enjoy the club. As they say, we cater to your carnal desire.
I did see the various things that your club has to offer as I was being escorted in here. Quite nice. Seems like there's a little bit of something for everyone.
Yes, many a kink, and no shame.
Indeed. Well, Hannah, it has been lovely. I should catch up with Shaft and see if I can get him to help me with this task.
And again, as far as what's to share with him, perhaps ask him to get you an audience with Lag, maybe. Once Lag is gone, it should not be difficult for my guards to seize what is his, what was his, what shall be mine.
Yes, I see. Now, Hannah, how heavily guarded is this gentleman, Lag? Will I be up against a great deal of resistance, do you think?
I suppose that would depend on where you meet him. If it's in his fighting pits, well, Lag is a boaster, himself. He sees himself as very capable. I don't think there will be much in the way of additional resistance that he'd keep around. Confident that he can take care of himself.
I've met the type before.
Yes. I do dare say Shaft is borderline being one of those people.
Well, perhaps in certain circumstances. I think he's good on the inside, deep down.
Yes, aren't we all?
I dare say you certainly seem like you are, Hannah.
and she gives like the a soft and lilting laugh as you say that, not maliciously or but like very genuinely finds that amusing. Oh, Paul, I so glad that we met.
As am I. I look forward to us catching up again soon.
Oh yes, should your interests in any additional types of jewelry expand further than this amulet, you know where to come.
I do. I will let you retire and rest the remainder of the evening, Hannah. I'm going to catch up with Shaft, and I hope to see you again very soon.
And she'll give another quick, and the door opens. Shaft, about 15 or so minutes pass, and the doors open again. You hear that sharp double clap, and Baron Falzaren strides out.
Big smile on his face, I might add.
I sort of look at him and I shake my head and I go, how much trouble are we in?
Oh, Shaft, we have good news. Hannah is quite lovely. I wish you had have told me more ahead of time about what an enjoyable person to work with she can be.
Yeah. So,
but let's keep moving, and I'll fill you in on the details.
Okay. I turn and start walking back. The way we came, are there guards that show us the route, or are we free to move about?
The two guards, I mean, they haven't received any instructions, so they will just ask you, do you require to leave via the rear exit?
No, we gotta pick up our stuff. I know the way.
Sure. I mean, they'll walk with you to the, they'll continue ahead of you, basically, moving back to the club. But they leave you alone, because again, this long, like, L-shaped hallway, right? Not empty entirely. There are, people that kind of milling about. Again, some, like, servers and stuff coming in and out of rooms with various devices and or delicacies.
Okay, yeah, I think I'll just keep looking at Falzaren and looking around the room, seeing if there's anybody I know, and just sort of make my way back. I feel sort of naked without my weapons, so and uncomfortable.
Okay, great. So are you making a fairly quick? I mean, you're not wasting much time.
I don't want to look like we're in a hurry. Don't want to look like anything's out of the ordinary. But just walking through, bowing my head down a little bit to the upper class people. Always trying to make a good impression. A wink and a smile here and there. Maybe pick up an hors d'oeuvre off of a plate and chuck it down my throat, kind of thing, and then walk our way back to where we can get our stuff.
Absolutely. And you do, as you are about to leave the club itself, you do see that Hannah has taken back up a position on her balcony that overlooks everything. And she's just kind of standing at the balcony. You see her she's just in a robe that she has cinched tight, leaning on the rail, two hands out to her sides, just kind of peering down at you, everyone else, kind of taking in everything.
I give her a smile and a little, thank you kind of gesture with my hands, and move on through.
Baron Zaren sees her and gives a very hearty smile and wave.
And you see Hannah smiles back and lifts a delicate hand to you both.
As we're walking out, I'm like, Dear God, what did you say? This is not good.
Shaft, don't jump to conclusions.
So, what do you know? Well, let's get our stuff and get out of here first.
Sure.
Absolutely. You can easily exchange your tickets for your items. The attendant, thank you. Come again. The usual,
Okay.
as you can freely take your leave.
So as we start walking out, but before we go out the front door, I sort of lean over against the wall, pull him aside, and I go, is there anything I need to know before we go tell the others?
Well, I did feel that I should be a bit more honest with her. She's a trustworthy person, Shaft. I told her that, we need this amulet because, well, Samuel Coltis needs the amulet. Or
what
wants
the
amulet.
hell?
What?
Why did you bring that up?
Because I felt it was right to tell her she asked.
Oh, dear God, I knew I shouldn't have never left the room. So, she knows about Samuel now.
Well, yes, Shaft, I don't understand. She's a trustworthy, kind, and generous lady.
She is not a trustworthy person. You think I'm shady.
Well, I don't appreciate you really talking about her that way, Shaft.
How long have you known her? What, 15 minutes?
Feels like ages. Anyway, Shaft, I don't know why you're overreacting, but so I told her, that Samuel wants it, and it's probably quite valuable because it's part of this armor that's very powerful. But I also told her that you and I are thinking about keeping it for ourselves, and she said, "Good news. She thinks she can get it for us. We just
Can I
have
do
to."
some kind of an insight check on him? He seems to be awful. He's even more Falzaren than normal.
Yeah, you can do an insight check, absolutely. Now, is this on your way to join up with Shakar and me, or is this still private between the two of you?
This is still private between the two of us.
Okay.
That would be a natural 20.
For a total?
Yeah, I don't have any bonuses on it.
Oh, okay.
On insight.
Yeah, he does seem to be as if he was very straightforward with this stranger, as he's clearly regarding her as if she is a friend of his.
So, can I surmise that he is either under some kind of spell? Is there some reason that he's acting this way beyond his normal open honesty?
This is definitely, even for Falzaren, is an abnormal amount of honesty.
All right, I slap him across the face.
Shaft.
I actually sort of go, come here. And I wave him down so he gets closer to my level. And then when he gets close,
Yes, what is it?
Smack him across the face and go, what the hell are you thinking?
Oh, but what was that for?
Obviously, she's got you in some kind of a trance or something. She's got information out of you that you shouldn't have shared. Oh, shit. What else did you tell her? Did you tell her anything about Mia?
Leland, is there a way to, shake someone out of this spell, or no?
Not by a friend of the target slapping the target, no.
Okay.
I can't do anything about it. I just am very frustrated.
I just want to make sure I know how to keep playing Baron Zaren here.
Yeah, the slap doesn't bring you back to normal.
Right. I don't know. I can't cast that spell. I don't know how it works. So, did you say anything about Mia?
No, it never really came up.
What did you say about me?
Well, I just said the honest truth. I think, you're deep down, you're a good guy, and maybe a little rough around the edges at times. No offense, Shaft.
So you told her we knew each other, unlike what I told her.
Well, I guess. Yeah, I suppose she would have deduced that. Look, I'm sorry, Shaft.
So does she know where the amulet's at?
She can get it for us. She asked a favor of us, and if we can deliver on the favor, she'll deliver on the amulet.
What's the favor?
Well, Shaft, we need to get an audience with this gentleman, Lag of Rock.
Yeah.
And just between you and I'm not really supposed to tell you, but Shaft, we've been through a lot, and I want you to know I value your friendship.
Yeah, and I do yours too.
I think she wants him out of the way, if you know what I mean.
She wants us to kill Lag?
Yeah, I sort of got that impression.
And you said she has this amulet already.
I think she does.
Great.
I know, it's... We don't have to go searching for it. She's already got it. We just help her out. She helps us out.
No, I don't mean great in a good way. I mean great in a we're in a mess now kind of way.
Oh.
All right, I guess we need to go let the others know, and maybe there's a way we can get this amulet without having to do what Hannah asked. Did she allude to anything else? Did she tell you anything else?
Oh. It all happened so fast. No, that was most of it. I mean, she has fantastic taste in drinks and decor, and my goodness.
I turn around and walk out the door. Disgusted. I walk out, I look to see if I can find Mia and Shakara. And if I see them, I throw my hands up and into the air. Son of a bitch.
Shakara and Mia. So Shakara, as Sparky is kind of flitting around the outside of the building, are you periodically trying to see through his eyes, or are you just going to wait for him to come back, or what exactly is your intention?
I'll wait for him to come back, and I think he would know that if he saw anything concerning, he could telepathically communicate with me if he was in range.
Okay.
I don't think we'd be that far away.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and you don't get any message from him or anything, and he returns safe and sound.
Okay.
In about, I would say, 20 to 25 minutes pass. Actually, maybe closer to 35, 40 minutes. And Shaft and the disguised Falzaren approach you, and you see Shaft is just, once he sees you, he just throws his hands up into the air. In frustration, it seems.
Did it not go all right, Shaft?
Well, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is, I think
Who?
she can get us
Who
the
was it?
amulet.
Who do they have?
I look back at Falzer and I go, I think it's best that we don't know any of that information at this point in time.
What do you mean? That's why I sent you in there.
What? That does not make any sense.
Yeah, I didn't do any of the talking. I was out in the hall, our buddy here.
Well, Mia, I wasn't able to figure out who is in there. But on the bright side of it, I really don't think you have anything to worry about. Hannah's lovely.
I'm going to, be ready to grab Mia if she starts to run across the street.
Yeah, I just kind of, my hand, tightens into, a fist, and I just, it's, drifting back to my hammer. What do you mean?
Hang loose. We're going to take care of that problem, too.
Okay, so amulet's the good news, I guess?
2.
Well, Falzaren spoke with Hannah, and she can get us the amulet, which is the good news.
But you know Hannah.
The bad news is we have to do her a favor.
What kind of favor?
Well, it's a bit of a favor.
Falzaren, what have you gotten us into now?
Well, Lag of Rock.
Huh?
Lag of Rock. Shaft, you know this Lag character.
I do know Lag, and I trust Lag a lot better than I trust Hannah.
Well, I'm not. I was supposed to sort of keep this quiet, but I consider you all very good friends, and so I'm gonna share with you. asked me not to tell, but she would like me to be rid of Lag so that she can take over in his stead. I think it's a pretty fair
what
deal,
is
really.
his to take over? Who is Lag?
Well,
This feels very familiar. A situation similar to what you have been in before. No?
what? But this is different. Hannah is
Yes.
a good person.
No, Falzaren,
you
Hannah's
have
not a good person.
something embedded in your chest?
We need to talk quieter. Hannah's not a good person.
Yeah.
I think she's misunderstood, really.
I feel
She's
like
lovely.
I've heard that before. But like,
Shaft, has he been mind controlled?
Mind control.
Can we trust him?
I don't think we can trust him for the moment.
This is preposterous. I am of sound mind. I did have...
Look, I smacked the shit out of him and it didn't do any good.
Mia, do you have some kind of healing spell that can clear his head?
I don't need a healing spell.
Shush, Falzaren. I am not talking to you.
Are you okay? So you've crossed the street here. Are you headed
Yeah.
back to the Tickly Servant?
Yes, I think we're going
Okay.
back to the Tickler Servant.
Okay,
Thank you,
you're
yeah.
walking. All right.
Yeah, and trying to be, as we're walking by, I'm looking around to see if anybody's following us, to see if Hannah's sent any, just, do you want me to give you some kind of perception
Yeah,
check or
absolutely.
something?
Those that are concerned about this now, seeing the way Falzaren's acting, can all give me perceptions to actively search for any pursuers.
That's a 17 for Shaft.
Shikara is too involved in trying to figure out how to save Falzaren from his own stupidity in order to be able to also look around for anybody watching us.
my perception's 9.
As you all are moving through Hannah's district, southward back down to Detmer's area, the streets are still pretty crowded. It is getting fairly late in the evening here, but about as you are on the edge of Hannah's district, the southern edge of Hannah's district, Falzaren, the effects of the charm person wear
I was
off,
gonna say it.
and you are fully aware that you've been charmed.
We sent the most uncharismatic person in there.
And Shaft, you do not notice anybody following you or any of Hannah's guards tailing you or anything like that.
What? Oh no.
Are you back to your
Oh, it's
senses
you,
now?
Falzaren. What happened?
This is... Oh, I can't believe it.
What did
now we
you
have
tell
to kill a
her?
lag.
We're not
This
killing
is-
Lag.
Do we have to kill Hannah?
She used magic on me that...
Oh, who would have guessed?
Apparently, there's some kind of power play going on here. I need to talk to
Yes.
Frank and find out what's going on with Detmer. Hannah's trying to take over the whole city.
Oh, this
Falzaren,
is-
what did you tell her?
This is awful.
What does she know about us?
She knows that Samuel is looking for pieces of an armor that is very powerful and that the amulet belongs to. And she knows that we want this amulet to give it back to Samuel. She knows that Shaft was... Oh. I'm so sorry, Shaft.
We will never find that amulet now.
You said that Shaft was what?
Well, she more or less knows that you were not being truthful with her.
Yeah, well, let's get back to the Tickly Servant. We need to talk about this.
Are we all in agreement that Falzaren goes nowhere by himself ever again?
Well, it could have happened to anyone.
At this point, yeah,
She
sure.
clearly has practice. with this
Falzaren, my
magic.
family. Who was it? Who was it? You can talk now.
I don't know. Man,
Nothing.
I'm so sorry.
You have nothing.
I didn't get any information.
You didn't hear anything, see
About-
anything,
No.
smell anything.
No.
I think we're at Plan B. We need to sneak in and free your family and get the amulet from Hannah.
So Hannah has it.
She can get it.
I think either she knows where it is. She can get it.
So how do we get the information from her if we're gonna kill her?
I don't know if we need to kill her.
How?
We need to figure this
Okay.
out. I need to talk to Frank.
I did ask Hannah about Detmer, and she didn't seem to have any idea. Apparently, from her perspective, he just up and left.
Of course.
It seems unusual.
You were charmed. You were
Do you not
charmed,
have quite a
Falzaren.
thriving establishment? Well, that's true. She could have been lying through her teeth with everything she told me. Ugh.
I look around again, sort of look up on top of the buildings and down the alleyway, and it's not safe here. Let's get back to the Tickly Servant. Our time is probably very limited here in Drukal.
Does she know that we are with you?
No, she does not know of you, Shakara, or you, Mia.
Did she think you were scrying on her?
It never came up. I don't think she has any suspicion.
Okay. Oh, man.
But to be honest, she does know that Shaft and I weren't being entirely truthful, and that might raise suspicions.
Okay. This
Perhaps
well-
could not have gone any worse.
I wasn't going to be the one to say it, Falzaren.
I'm so sorry.
I should have just stomped right up there with my hammer. And
I don't know if that plan would have been worse, but it probably would have had a similar result, except maybe one of us might not have made it out.
I guess at least then I could blame myself.
I don't
Falzaren.
understand. My disguise was immaculate. I looked fantastic.
Can you believe what just happened?
Yeah, nothing shocks me anymore.
I really do like the intro and outro music.
Yeah, it's Josh Jarvis. You can contact him at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com.
And the ambient sounds from tabletop audio really draw me into the story.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Would you happen to know how to contact anybody from the party?
Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to, but yeah, they're all over the damn place. They're on Twitter at Incorrigible Par, Instagram and Facebook as Incorrigible Party, and they got a website with a bunch of crap on it too.
Incorrigibleparty.com?
Yeah, I think that's it.
What about merchandise?
Yeah, it's on the website.
What about NPCs and maps of Aspara?
Yeah, it's on the website.
What about information about giveaways and links to the episodes?
Yeah, it's all on the website.
What about a good shepherd's pie recipe?
There are no good shepherd's pie recipes.
Well, mayhaps their sponsor, Critical Hit Design, will have some.
Well, if you eat it, you'll have some happy adventuring.